SNX Radio invites you to unravel the mysteries of the cosmos with us as we dive into UFOs, cryptids, and everything otherworldly. As we navigate the night, we investigate the unknowns that spark our curiosity and challenge our understanding of reality.
Turn it up, let's go! Coleyufo in the cockpit live. If you're ready for the truth, throw your hands up high! Truth beyond disclosure. Lights in the sky take over. Coley got the buzz, it's a takeover. Everybody in the club yelling, show us! Truth beyond disclosure. We want facts, we want closure. Hands up if you're tired of the cover. It's the sound of the secrets uncovered. Yo, radar lock, but they don't see nothing. Hometown kids saw the triangle hovering. Phone in his hand, got the whole thing filmed. Next day gone like it fell in a kiln. Black fans creeping, sir that's a star, but his zigzag snaps like a muscle card. There's a base badge flash. Don't take pics till the hanger got craft that can break physics. New spin tight with the same 10 lines, but the pilot can't sleep, see the same 3 lights. Briefed in a room, this meeting ain't happened. Sign this paper, mine gets flattened. Flip that script when Coley goes live. Pull the tape back, play a slow rewind. Every in a blur, in a gray enhanced. Now the whole damn world in a trance like let's go! Truth beyond disclosure. Truth beyond disclosure. Lights in the sky take over. Coley got the violence, so take over. Everybody in the club, yeah, let's show. Truth beyond disclosure. No place, oh no. Put your hands up if you're tired of the cover. It's the sound of the secrets uncovered.
Yeah, I know what I saw, don't gaslight me. Whole block froze when it slid low key. Silent silver hanging over my street. Then it shot straight up like it skipped through beats. Grandma told tales, but they called her wild. Same marks on her arm since she was a child. Same humming in her bones when the sky turns steel. Sleep towel visitor stepping into her dreams. Foul that empty screeches like out to the truth leak loud from a single shout. Cold case photo, same bright spear, different decade. Ain't still the same damn fear. You can scrub that feed, you can spin that feed, but had to stay sharp like a laser beam. Coley in the booth, bring receipts, stack proof. Whole crowd chant when he hits that truth light.
Hands up if you see strange lights.
Hands up if you heard them lie.
Hands up if you know we're
Classified, now scream if you want that fire.
Hands up if you see strange lights.
Hands up if you heard them lie.
Hands up if you know we're
Classified, now scream if you want that fire.
When I say Coley, you say UFO. Coley, UFO. Coley, UFO. When I say truth, you say let's go. Truth, let's go. Truth, let's go. From the base to the bay to the back road, tight into the jet cam clip for the tic tac comic from the doc in the lab with the meta that bloods. Like a late night show where the story begins. This our time, this our show. Turn it up loud on this next radio. If you want that file, better make that noise. Whole world sing with a million voices, 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 voice, 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 Truth beyond disclosure. Truth beyond disclosure. Lights in the sky take over. We got the buzz, it's a takeover. Everybody in the club yelling, show us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SNX Radio. I'm Coley, and tonight we have a very special guest. It's so awesome to see everybody in chat. I hope you guys are liking the jam. I'm trying to switch it up while, I'm dropping that link live. But I just want to say hi to chat, everyone. It's so great to see you, Kitty Catty Whack, as always, and your words. Man, they mean a lot, just so you know. I can't say that enough. MB True Seekers 137, welcome. Nice to see you as always. Our girl Polly Rotterman. Hey girl, I hope all is well. And we have, I know I see more down here. I don't want to miss anybody. We have Junior. Let's see here. Yes. You know what? Midnight Mark 22. Kurt W 75. Hey. And I'm sorry, Junior, but I don't know. I'm going to mangle the rest of that, but I will look when I have my glasses on. Carl Sup, it's great to see you in chat. Ryan, great to see you. And we have the Cosmic Voice 33. Always a pleasure. Benno, oh my gosh, you're here early. It's nice to see you. And we got the Woo Rad Derek. He has the dance parties after. If you guys don't know Derek, you definitely should. Anyway, so getting on with our awesome show that tonight, I couldn't be more excited for. For those of you who don't know, you will. No, just kidding. Anyway, Doc Skinner, he's going to be our special guest for tonight. He is a seasoned entertainment industry veteran with over 3 decades of experience, have collaborated with icons like Disney, Universal Studios, Steven Spielberg, Six Flags, and SeaWorld. As an accomplished actor, stuntman, I want to hear more about that, writer, director, producer, editor, event promoter, and radio personality. He's channeled his expertise into the UFO and disclosure community. He's the one who founded DisclosureCon, the groundbreaking UFO conspiracy whistleblower conference, and has contributed to 2 notable projects, including Who Saw the Men in Black, Countdown to Disclosure, and upcoming films like Fly. So yes, very cool. Very, very cool. The Rise of Jett Parker, producer and actor. He's definitely up there. So for those of you who don't know, you're about to. So we're going to go ahead and give Mr. Doc Skinner a nice SNX welcome, and welcome to the show. I never do well enough, you have so many accomplishments and you've done so much for this community. So I'm really excited to have you on. Why don't you tell everybody who you are and what you do? I doubt I did it even,
that's a few things.
I didn't even dent it right there.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yes.
All right. Then the headphones aren't working, so let me just get them off. Okay. All right. Now everything should work. So yes, I'm Doc Skinner. Been in the entertainment industry since the early 80s. And started off, in theme parks, Six Flags, Batman Stunt Show, Disney, MGM Studios, Pleasure Island, stuff like that. And those opened up doors. I also went to Full Sail Center for the Recording Arts, which is a huge university now known as Full Sail University. And when I went, there was only 300 students. It was a small little group, but all of our instructors had to work in the industry. So if, let's say, our sound engineer instructor was running behind with a project and couldn't come to class would go to work. And we would get to, step into really amazing projects, maybe just for a day or so, but it opened up a lot of doors. And then Disney, and then Spielberg with Sequest DSV, several movies. First one was with Steve Martin called The Leap of Faith. And I was just an extra in the background, but I was 15 and that was an amazing thing. And not until I moved to the White Mountains of Arizona did I ever think that people I used to read about as a child, like Travis Walton and all these abductees and stuff, that they would become my friends. Little did I know that most of the people that were on those first rows in Congress have been here for dinner. This is I wouldn't have never thought of that years ago. but I've been very, very fortunate. And all of the ufologist community, celebrities have become really true friends. And they're real human beings. There's not a lot of, you have your couple that your egos are a little big, but everybody else is down to earth and amazing. And I just adore them all. So when I saw the Congress hearings, and I was like, oh my God, I know most of those people.
Isn't it crazy how that happens?
Yeah. And in my show, I've had my experiences, and hold on, my camera, I'm like falling off here. My experiences, I never thought would do anything, and for the longest time, I thought I'm an entertainer. I have a creative imagination. Who knows? I could be fooling myself until things later in my life confirm certain things of my past. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, okay, this would make sense why I'm connecting with all these people. And I didn't have a book. I didn't have a video or a documentary, anything to sell. So my thing was doing what you're doing. Microphone, YouTube channel, X channel, all that fun stuff, and help get the word out. So that's what I started doing because, actually started with Luke Walton, Travis Walton's son. We're friends. And one day we were sitting at home watching UFO videos on YouTube. And we were thinking, how can we make some money? And I said,
Right.
Would your dad speak at an event? You could put something together. And my camera keeps moving. I'll lock this in. And so we put this event together. And Travis wasn't one to really do a lot of interviews back then. So let me lock this so the camera doesn't keep moving around. It's one of those AI cameras that follows you.
It's tracking you. Yeah.
And so my name and everything down there is like.
I don't know, Doc, if that's scary or if that's a good thing at this point. I mean, it was literally following you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But anyway, so we put this event together, and I knew Andrew Bashago. I don't know if you know who he is. The Jump Rooms. You know about him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he was my roommate for a while. A lot of people don't know that. When he was traveling the country, he was going to run for president and everything. So I knew him. I knew Travis. And I said, let's do this event. And then all of a sudden, I started getting calls from Mike Barra, Brooks Agnew, Laura Eisenhower. It's like this. And when I asked Mike, Mike was the first. And I asked, because all I could think of was Ancient Aliens. I'm like, oh my God, how'd you get my number? And, we just did a little bit of promoting, locally. Because my friend in Thailand told me about your event and said I should call you. I'm like, what? So, that was the power of the internet right there. And then it was like a snowball effect, one after the other. Every year it was more and more of these amazing people, coming to be a part of DisclosureCon. And then COVID happened, and our venue was overly strict with the masks, even after the mask mandate was gone. And, it caused some things. So as soon as we get a new venue facility up here, I do want to bring back DisclosureCon. So
yeah, that was fantastic. I can see people like Mike Barr too. They're the big kind of fighters out there too against that. That probably would have put a damper on things. I could see how that could happen. But yeah, I hope that it gets. I mean, probably one of the best conferences. I say hands down. You do some great work, brilliant people. Yeah.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you so much. I mean, everybody that came is what made it what it was. So thank you for helping, make that what it was. It was just an amazing event. And I'll tell you, on the ego level, I was a little excited on the first year because we did the talking panel. I had to MC it. So I was sitting at this table with everybody. I'm sitting there with a phone.
You're like, probably, you know what though, that excitement is that is exactly why I'm like, man, that's a great person right there, down to earth. But your excitement, that is so telling. And so I don't care why you got into whatever you got into it for, you have that excitement for it, and that's like what gets everybody excited about it. So that's amazing.
You want to hear some cool, like, Forrest Gump historical things that happened at the first two events, the first 2 years?
Would love to.
The first year I had, and I cannot think of his name off the top of my head. He's the guy that did the whole conspiracy map where everything's connected. All the lines and circles.
Are you
You know what poster I'm talking about? Shows how all the deep state organizations
yes,
are all
are
up
you
there.
talking about Ben Chaston
No,
and
no, no.
It's a
Ben.
Wonder?
Well, no. Ben had them on the show. I just can't remember the artist name. Anyway, he had
I know what you're
never.
talking about. He had long. I remember seeing it.
Yeah. He has long hair, and he had never done an art thing ever. Talking to everybody except for at DisclosureCon. And he gave me a copy of it. And I made it in a big 6 foot by 4 or 6 by 8, 4 by 8, and hung it up on the wall. Well, people would come and just sit there and just stare at it. They're like, "Oh my God, that connects! Yes, it connects."
That's crazy how
And
he connected all those
and,
dots.
if,
I know.
and someone that I knew later after that first year event, we were watching stuff. Remember Vincent Fusco?
Yes.
Junior, as they would say, in disguise. Well, he was there,
Oh.
standing next to my friend, looking at this poster,
Oh.
and he goes, "So what do you think about all this?" And she said, "Yeah, it's all connected." And then when I was showing her a video of Vincent Fusco, she goes, "That's the dude I talked to." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Then that same year, a guy came up to me because it was around Halloween, so we were doing a Halloween costume contest, there's kids there and everything. And this guy stops me as I'm running around like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to run this show for the first time ever. And he stops me and he goes, "Hey, are you Doc Skinner?" And I look up, seeing this guy. I wanted to laugh, but I didn't. I was being respectful because I'm thinking, okay, he's there for the costume contest.
Oh, no.
And he goes, "Hey, I really appreciate what you're doing. This is a really cool event." I'm like, "Thank you so much. And hey, I think you got a chance at winning the contest." And I left.
Oh, wait.
Not even a few months later, he becomes the poster child for the whole what was the Washington D.C. thing, the guy with the horns and the flag.
Yeah.
He was at my event. I talked to him.
Oh my gosh, I've heard about him.
We got pictures of him at the event, getting his photo taken and stuff. And so I was just like, wow. I knew there was going to be something crazy. So I even had a booth. I had a table reserved for the NSA and the CIA. I wanted to make sure they had a place to sit.
Good for you. Good for you. That's awesome.
So anyway, that was DisclosureCon, and it will be coming back. But it's the beauty of it. I didn't make really any. I lost my ass on it most of the time. But what was beautiful about it was the people that were brought together. And there's even a couple. I don't know if I'm allowed to say who they are, but everybody knows who they are. They just I don't know if they know. But they're going to be getting married, and they called and said, "Hey, you got to be there because you brought us together." So, that kind of stuff I love. I'm here on this earth to bring people together and have a good time if we can while we're doing it. So,
that's awesome.
But anyway, that's kind of stuff that I did. And
so you mean a new relationship that was there? Two people, one. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And there's marriage.
I was the one that was like, here's A, hello B,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And,
I didn't know the marriage was coming though, but that's cool.
Oh, well, there's a lot of couples out there.
It happens, I guess, eventually, huh?
Yeah. Because if you could find somebody that's the common interest, you're going to hold on.
Yeah, right. Not to have to explain all of this. I said I can't do it. I can't.
Always
do
like,
it.
oh my God, we're still gonna prank. Gotta make it duck too.
Yes. Yeah, if you don't understand that, then I'm not gonna I can't even begin. I've tried to explain this to people and they don't understand. Unfortunately, they do not understand.
Well, I even did this on one of my shows because I had that. I still have it somewhere rolled up, but that big poster that's like 4 by 8 that he did, and I did an example. I said, "All right, now imagine you're on a street corner in a downtown area, and there's that guy, and he's just all over the place." Okay, I said, "Wouldn't he sound like this?" And I looked up at the poster, and I would just start spouting off everything, and not without the lines, and people I was like, "Sounds familiar, don't it?" But he knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, he did too. I couldn't believe it. I was like, how in the world did he ever? I am no better though. I had you should have seen the madness I had trying to put this whole thing together. I mean, I had a whole wall. I looked like
that
I
was his
was
bit. With the pharmaceuticals, with the Illuminati, all those special groups. He put it all together, and I'm very honored that my event was, because he went from there. That big poster ended up being like a huge floor piece at the Met Gala.
Oh, that's awesome. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone said, what your beliefs are. When I saw that thing, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, that's a beautiful mind right there. That takes a beautiful mind to put that together. But it really was.
With my show like yours, you get to interact with these rare breeds, you might say, and cover some really cool stuff. And now, I told you I've kind of fallen out of the game recently because I'm working on my book and then getting the movie made, and all these just refocusing everything, because it was getting to the point where it was feeling like everybody was regurgitating what me and all my friends already did. And that's when I thought about doing this. And I even talked about this in one of my shows. I think we need a grading system in this community. I think we need a grading on certain levels of knowledge. Roswell being like first grade, and then just go up until you're in like quantum physics, dimensional realms, DMT. I mean, you're just out there. But that's like a PhD level. Because you have some people that just can't handle certain things.
Oh Lord.
Or you have cognitive dissonance, just slam into gear, and they're like, I don't know anything.
The programming starts to short circuit, and it's not a joke. I know.
I think game stations are turning people into NPCs.
Oh, for sure. Don't you dare say something that's against something that their programming tells them is correct, because God help your soul.
First off, I'm Gen X. Second off,
too.
I was the first wave of kids in the GATE program in 1979, 80.
Me
So,
too.
yeah,
wow. We
welcome
got
to
another first wave. Excuse me. I'm also a Gen Xer, proud degenerate of Gen X, but I was recruited through a Montessori preschool at the age of 4 at the Gifted and Talented program.
Mine was a preschool in Rancho Cordova, California, right outside of Sacramento, near Mather Air Force Base. I was an Air Force brat. So what rabbit hole would you like to follow me down? Because I can go in. I've had it all. I'm the Forrest Gump of. Hold on, I'm not. Stop.
AI, let him be. Yeah. Right.
It's like
Should we ask AI where we should? No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. I move around so much. I could see mine just being like,
and what's a crazy? So you're a gay kid.
Yep.
Just since we're there, just wait for a second. And I've been trying to explain it to somebody recently in the past 24 hours. Because they're like, that you went through all this? Like, yeah, I wasn't the only one. There was several of us.
Yep.
Do you think the pink juice just wore off finally on all of us, like in the past 2 years, and all of a sudden now we're all remembering?
You know what? Until I had Laura, I was talking to Laura Eisenhower, actually. I did not know that recruitment or that way of that type of, I didn't know exactly what it was. More like psychic things. They were having me put together blocks. They were having me like do things. And that's how I think they were trying to identify us. So
they were filtering us out.
Yes.
They were looking for two styles of people, two groups. The obedient, who would get to do some really cool James Bond stuff possibly in the future, and the disruptors.
Yes.
And the disruptors are the ones that, with all of those audio files and everything, I don't want to say hypnotize us, but basically is what they did, to where we would self-sabotage ourselves. So we want to get to a successful point. That's why we always feel like, why is everybody else successful? I got all the keys. I got all the answers. I know what to do. My shit is awesome.
No, that makes sense. So that makes sense. So
because we're the disruptors. If we have the power and we have the know-how that, oh my God, I do have the ability to be a disruptor. Okay, and it's because of them that I'm failing. Self-sabotaging. That was the whole thing. It's to implant the seed then in schools, so that in the future, if we had the ability to be powerful with money or position, we want it. because they knew we would become a disruptor. We'd be an Elon Musk or Doc Skinner or Coley. I mean, it's
The
just
resistance, I call myself.
yes.
By design.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hell
And that's
yeah.
why we relate to things like They Live and Stranger Things and Montauk. And, you know, I do feel there's a lot of people that love attention.
Oh, yeah.
And they love it so much that they can exasperate things and stories. And God bless them. I get it. I'm an entertainer.
Oh, you're nicer than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think in the beginning anybody would make this up. I thought you'd be crazy to make this up. But it turns out there is a section and segment of this community that makes this up. Okay. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right.
Hey, everybody wants to get on the train, you know? And then, like us, when they get on there, it's not great. It's okay. You know?
Right.
I mean, don't pay crap, but yeah, it's dividing us up, and then the good boys and girls, they go on. But when you've got government officials coming in with the suitcase and the headphones, the pink juice, that fluoride for your teeth, now we know it's fluoride for the pineal gland, so we can't do the cool stuff that we did. I don't know if you've seen the really cool video that was done to the song Kids by MGMT. And they did the whole video, and it's got a Stranger Things vibe where kids are taken from class or brought into the room and they're moving blocks psychically and all that. That's why they were having us do what we did. I mean, learning Russian, learning about frequencies with whales and dolphins, hence why I went and worked at
Crazy, yeah.
I went and got my mom helped me out. We got my own apartment for a whole summer in San Antonio, Texas. And I got to work in entertainment at SeaWorld because I originally was going to be, you know, working as an animal trainer, and I passed the test and everything. And they were like, yeah, the insurances went over your paperwork and you just acted more mature. We didn't even think about it, but are you 18? I'm like, oh, no, not yet. Oh, we can't put you in the water with the animals. So I ended up, you know, doing other things, you know, in the entertainment industry there. But I was always fascinated with sonar, with dolphins. I did get to work with some dolphins at Six Flags when we got to, let's say we liberated them from the theme park. I mean, we weren't we were the good guys.
Them out?
Well, it was, we did it because Greenpeace was going to come and do it. And we didn't want them to damage the babies or anything. So we did it ourselves. It was a December late night in Arlington,
Good for
Texas.
You. You are a rebel. Like, I love that. Yeah.
So that was the first time I got in the water. And they were like, bring your wetsuit and your booties. I'm like, oh my God, this is serious. So I get in there and I wrap my arms around that dolphin, and drugs, nothing could, you know, come close to what happened there. And I had this connection. And then, you know, it reminded me of things like back during the GATE program. Those were stuff we were taught, is how to communicate through frequencies and whatnot. I mean, all the fun puzzles. It was summer camp for me. I mean, it was like, we're building shit. We're solving stuff that our friends can't solve. And now I'm older, and I'm just like, I wish there was more people in the GATE program. There's a lot of people aren't that bright around me.
Yeah. You know, and I didn't come on to it like exactly know and put it all together. It's been maybe like 2 years now, but it took me a bit of time.
This light switch went on 2 years ago, and thanks with Tech Talk too, but it just triggered a lot of people, especially when they heard the Monroe Institute audio. Yeah. You know, this you're listening to the waves of the ocean.
Yeah.
Inside it is obey. You know, you do what we say, breed, consume.
Subliminal, yeah.
And that is why that's a big reason why I feel I was supposed to be a fighter pilot. I mean, I went to Marine Military Academy. I was supposed to go to the Air Force Academy after that and everything. 1 year of imaginary military school movie all wrapped in one with the Lord of the Flies with the rain.
Right.
I was like, I'm good. I'm going to entertain people. I'm going to make people laugh. So
I was a mental health therapist for 7 years. So here I am now. I mean, it does, like, this whole thing, but I did not know it was like ET connected. I didn't know any of that. I thought it had to do with because I grew up seeing spirits. I'm sure you're able to too. It's a part of it. It's like, you know, you grew up with all these like interesting little traits.
That's, you know, when you think about it though, and I can't say for sure but I feel that the good guys, or not the good guys, but the go-alongs, the lemmings that had the abilities that they helped enhance, I believe went on to be like remote viewers or work on special projects like Project Serpo. You know, that's not the only time that's happened. You know, and I'm not going to sit here and go, ancient astronaut theorists believe. I'm just going to tell you, that's how it's going down. Period. You know, and if you can't see it, change the damn channel. Just continue vegging.
Yes.
Because it is so apparent. Another reason why I said I kind of got out of the game, because I was just like, everybody's like, oh my God, aliens are real. Didn't you know? Didn't you? And I'm like, are you seriously telling that to me?
I know. It's so painful.
It's like little kids in first grade. Teacher, look what I learned today. Quantum physics.
I'm like, well, why? There's just no words at that point. I'm like, yeah.
And so that's why I feel I've stuck with entertainment, because I know entertainment has always been a part of soft disclosure, and I've always known, you know, what goes on behind the curtain. I've seen it, worked it, been there. You know, and being a writer, that's so much fun. Is, you know, I created my own Space Force. The Space Force, they told me they have no plans to go into space anytime soon. I was going to do this thing and make this film kind of like the Top Gun for Space Force. And they're like, no, we have no intention of going into space anytime soon. I was like, all right, Planetary Defense Force then. That's what it is. and I just did my you know, but cool. A lot of stuff is getting ready is happening. Speaking of happening, have you seen the video that's come out with Alexa? I don't know if you have one. You know, I didn't want to set her off.
Oh, no. For good reason.
If you ask, when is Christmas in 2026, it'll say there's no Christmas holiday scheduled for 2026.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Do you have one at your house?
Yes. And what was crazy is as I was listening to the video, it set off mine, and it was in sync with what I was watching. So
I know they're creepy. I call it creepy. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know. I won't have stuff like that around for a good reason. I'm like, there's so much listening in already, but then there's those nice, like my kiddo has one, and I'm like, oh, Brody and that creepy, you know who. But yeah, it's just, I get it. I get why they're there, but I've had so many hacks come through. I'm sure you do too. When you're in this, like you have no privacy. Your bank account is always going to be at risk for crazy purchases.
Some jerk put up their banking statements in the chat, and we had to boot them. I mean, it's scary, but at the same time, you just know they're just lonely people. Anyway,
lonely people with nothing else to do.
Yes. So abductions, sightings, people I've spoken with, the GATE program, 20 and back. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that we could travel.
You know, down. I'm really interested, like in your experience with it. I have to ask, did you go through then later like a series of like crazy MRIs during a period where they had like this metallic dye injection that you can't quite get out of your system ever? But I started when they did like that.
You poop your pants when they inject it. It goes by your butt.
No, they actually put it in like your arm, but mine was being taken of my brain. And after that, I started to take out the street lights. So I figured it all has something to do with. Like,
well, I believe that the MRI machines are portal doors because of the magnetic pull. When I was a kid, I have the drawing somewhere. I keep it on purpose somewhere. But imagine three stargates. One regular size, the other one's half that size, the third one's half of that size. And then you have a laser at the end. Okay. You set the magnetic combination, you might say, with the first one until it grasps time and space and pulls it. And then you set the second one and it pulls it back like a circus tent or a sheet. And then when it gets to a fine point, you turn on that laser either at a high or low. I am not a physicist. This is just, I'm a visionary. And
sound very good. Yeah.
the high or low frequency. Well, literally, now imagine you have this circus tent, right? A little point at the top, and that laser beam is literally going to separate the molecules, tearing a hole, opening it. But the first 3 stargates keep it at bay. And I drew this out like when I was in the 3rd grade, because I had an MRI and it made me think about it. And then I found out a story where people that get MRIs, it's not all, but some have been reported that, when you're laying down, you're looking down the shaft, you can see where your feet.
Yes.
They would look and the room wasn't there. They were
Mhm.
somewhere else.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So,
They
MRIs
sedated me with
Stargate.
Valium when I went in. They sedated me. So because I was
They don't
young.
want you to figure it out.
That's interesting. That is very interesting.
So, just theories, folks.
How about, I have to ask too, because I've not come across one of my own necessarily, such as yourself, which is, it's kind of crazy. I'm taken back by this because I did not know that you were a part of the Gate Project. And I really, Corey Good was even helped put some real big pieces together for me on it too. And I was like, man, this is why I don't like the government, but the resistance and all that you said. I also have a really rare blood type. I have like AB negative. Wasn't sure if you heard of anything about that and a connection at all.
No, yeah, there's a connection. I don't have a master's degree in that topic right there, but it's Tony Rodriguez.
Yes, I've talked to him about it.
I had him on my show, and this is going to be a first, by the way. It's never been spoken. But after the show I had with him, I had this, I don't know what happened to me. I don't know how to describe it. But when I had my experience when I was 3 years old, I didn't see a UFO. I didn't see any aliens. I just had a big bright flash when I opened the front door. It was kind of like that Close Encounters scene, but it wasn't a steady light. It was just like a camera flash, but really bright. And my parents said that after that night, well, look, you haven't heard the story, I'm guessing. So let me just do a real, what's it called, a elevator pitch. So 3 years old, nighttime, bedrooms over the garage facing the street in Sacramento, California, parents' bedrooms in the back, 2nd floor. And the light is coming in from the front of the window. And I get up and I'm just like 3 feet tall. And I go to the window and I'm looking outside. It's daytime. And I see my Gigi, who just passed away yesterday. She's like in her gray caprice going, come on, it's time to go. We're going to go to the park. I'm like, okay. I turn around, the bedroom is pitch dark. I go through the bedroom door, down the hall to the staircase, and I turn. And when I get to the top of the staircase, I'm like standing, and my body just goes,
wow,
like this. And it's like, I should be falling. My parents had just put in a swimming pool, and they were teaching me how to dog pedal, and I felt I was floating. So start dog paddling down the staircase. I get to the floor, come to my feet, and I open the door, and that's when the big flash happens. And then it's nighttime, and it's silent, just a street light, and there's no grandma. And I'm like, Grandma, Gigi, where are you? Nothing happened. So I turn around, I close the front door, I make it to about the 2nd or 3rd step, and my father comes over the top of the staircase with his rifle pointed at me, with my mom over his shoulder. Sees it's me, raises it, and I get a big lecture about sleepwalking. Fast forward years later.
Yeah.
But supposedly after that night, that's when things started happening. And, I was being put in groups with kids, and then eventually became the GATE program. But I never understood why kids couldn't think like I did. I was like, this just should be common basic sense. Why can't you? So I always felt there was something wrong with me.
So you were a sleepwalker. Like they used to find me on the front, like the driveway, or you weren't. So you're saying,
what is sleepwalking? Now, here was the confirmation.
Okay.
Now my father, he was a pilot, and he was the last C-130 out of Vietnam. So he got the position. He was made to captain, and he got to fly Air Force Two, which is the vice president. So we were based at Dover Air Force Base, and that's where I was born. And shit, what was I saying?
You're the Air Force Base.
Yes. So, but before that, oh my God, can we rewind?
I do this too. Don't feel bad. No, but you were
Hey, I'm
talking
surprised
about
this is the first time so far. Usually it's like every.
oh, well, hey, that's progress, and then you're doing better than normal. That's
Yeah.
great. No,
Yeah. So my dad got that role, and so he was there, and because of that, he had top secret clearance, and he was very, very big on security. I got back to where I was going. So fast forward to 16 years old, he and I are on a plane, and we're flying, and he starts talking about the Aztec pyramids and how they're joined, and it's not normal, and there was nothing like us. There was the only thing that was close to what we would discuss back then was Leonard Nimoy on In Search Of, which was a TV show, and they talk Bigfoots and UFOs and ghosts and goblins, whatnot. So for him to talk about that, being a top secret guy, was a big deal. And so that was my foot in the door to finally bring something like this up to him. I said, Dad, do you remember the night you almost shot me? He goes, oh, yeah. And I said, can I tell you my side of the story? Because you were basically just yelling at me, and I didn't get to say anything. So I told him my story. And he's like, the one thing that's bothered me is that you were 3 feet tall. And there were 6 to 7 locks on that door that were at least 5 to 6 feet up. You could not have unlocked them. And that puzzled him for decades. And so for me, that was a kind of a confirmation. And then I had this show with Tony Rodriguez, and a lot of stuff was hitting me, like just at the heartstrings, doing my best not to cry during the show, because like, this is just, I wasn't sure how to handle what I was going through in the middle of a live show.
right.
And so the next day I called celebrity psychic Christopher LaPrath, who's a good friend of mine. And he knew about the encounter that I had at 3 years old. And I asked him, I was like, aliens? Was there a ship? Because I wanted to know, and it's kind of cool, being an abductee in some case, hey. But he goes, it wasn't aliens, because it was something else that took you. Okay. He didn't know who Tony Rodriguez was. He didn't watch my show. I didn't mention anything of it, but he goes, that night you were taken for a period of time, and then you were brought back to the same point. And I was like, what kind of period of time? He was like 15, 20 years.
Oh, the 20 Whoa.
No, I haven't brought this up because I'm not looking to have this be part of my resume. It's just you're the first person to have me on a show for a while. I thought, well, I'll give her a bombshell. But and it explains a lot why I've had this feeling all my life. Not a lot of boys and men, they want to play army and soldiers and all that, but it's like I had already lived it. And when I was in the Marine Military Academy in Texas, it was like I already knew a lot. And by the way, at that time, I don't know how the school is now, but the year I was there, I didn't get much education except how to make things alter for someone's life, you might say. And I wanted out. But I was connected to all this stuff, like X-Files. Instant connect, like, oh my God, I get it, as so did millions of other people. Just like what happened when Whitley Strieber came out with Communion. Until his book came out with that cover, people they kept that to themselves. But when they saw it on a big publication that was worldwide, that's when everybody was like, I see the same things. And that was a big tipping point for our community at the time. Because, even for a longer period, it was still, we're all lunatics. Now they're all like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. because they pound us with tragedy every hour of the day instead of once every 2-3 months like it used to be. That we're all so numb to it. And that's when they're like, Atlas is coming, it's UFOs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody's like, bring
Oh,
it.
God.
Bring us Gen X. We're like, come on, please bring it. We're ready.
Right. If we're gonna do this, let's do this now. You know what I mean? Like rip that Band-Aid off. I'm right there with you.
All right. I'll let you continue.
No, I think it's great. You know, you're so not. It's nice to see you in this, like, you just natural habitat. I love these kind of conversations. I'm one to. I think you get more out of a conversation than you can get out of anything. So, and I know that you and you know the circuit. I know you understand. Like, and I'm just blown away by the fact that you're a fellow gay kid. So, what do you see? I guess my big question, and maybe you can shed some light on this, has been like, hey, they obviously know people are coming, but they don't know exactly who they are, because that's what I figure they're trying to identify with the programs. You can, if you have a totally different theory on this, please throw it at me.
You mean when they filtered us?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's like I said, it's to find the disruptors. You know,
So-
the Elon Musks, the people that refuse to do it, the old men's gang or the old men's club way. They're like, no, we want free internet for the whole world. Free electricity. Finland right now is doing wireless electricity through the airs of their town for energy. Others, actually, it's Finland. Finland's really on top of their game. Finland's also doing where all their main servers are like airtight, and all the heat is being piped into the town to help heat the town. And those are disruptors, because that's taking money away from the gazillionaires, the oil tycoons, and the electric tycoons. Their time's coming to an end. And
so do you think it's a probability thing? Like, so many of these people are going to be disruptors. We're going to find out who they are. Or do you think it's something more unique and specific to the person?
I say bring back Tartaria, because that's when everybody was a disruptor. And they had, cameras way before the mid 1800s. They had the airships. They had, all the building structures. And what most people don't realize, the word founded just means they found it.
Yeah.
And the mudfloods, people are like, oh, I don't believe in the mudflood. What just happened last week in California? Towns under mud up to the ceiling. That's just conspiracy theory. Like I said, I got out of the game. I didn't want to.
Yeah, I know. When you hear that conspiracy theory or theorist, I'm telling you, my blood pressure will go from like 0 to like 100.
And the CIA planned that. That's why they they created the word and then put the stigma behind it.
Yeah.
That was all their design.
You gotta love them sometimes. You really
gotta
do.
love the alphabet guys.
Yeah.
We love them.
We love them, and you might as well, because like, from my understanding and what I've been told, and like the inside is that there's always 2 watching, and that, you kind of can figure out after a period of time who your little watcher is and who it's not, just by your posts and how they have to post and counter your post and things like that. But yeah, it just,
we used to call them handlers.
Yeah, I mean that's I mean that's what it amounts to. It's crazy because the amount of control that is on there is unbelievable. They always said, I didn't really believe it at first, but I guess I do now, that they don't really watch the phenomenon because I think they already know. I don't think it, by any stretch of your imagination, is all this going on and they're displaying global air dominance and air superiority, and we're just like, oh, just let them go, no big deal. Not buying it, So yeah, that they watch the people, and that's most definitely, the intimidation. And once you get past that, though, like I think the Gen X, like the rebels, like I've had like dead cat on my door. I had my SIM card like ripped out of my phone. It was not possible, and I even pried it open the rest of the way to see it wasn't there. Just things like that, that kind of
or twisting your batteries around in your remote control in your house.
Did they do that?
Oh God, that's one of the favorites. Is they'll go in and they'll mess with their remotes and like the batteries are there, but they flipped them.
That would make sense. It's those type of things, like, or just hacking in. I'd be in the shower and all of a sudden something come on, who are like over, it hacked through my like, Bluetooth speaker, and I was like, throw them out. Like, it was just weird. You could feel it, it's just weird. But I guess I'm just wondering, like, because some people here, they don't seem like they're necessarily part of what's going on. They're kind of like, what did you say?
An NPC, non-playing character.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
So
what the
you-
game is out there.
What are
Not that a game, I'm just hip with the kid lingo.
No, but yeah, I play it kind of like it is a game, because you have to get through this, and this is you don't know, and you're not like having the obstacles of my day. Nobody else will understand this at all. I have made local police intel for being an activist and standing up for you can imagine the things that I've done and got myself in trouble for, because that is exactly what I am. I said the resistance. I never understood why until just about an hour ago as to why I am maybe the way I am, but I am me. And that's not, it's I'm telling you, it's a warrior I come by it honestly. I really do. It's just like bread.
Well, I have one word for you: Wolverines. And if you know Red Dawn, then yeah. I mean, we're ready for it. I mean, Gen X, dude, we've been prepared for so long.
Yeah, right.
We see these kids that are like bubble wrapped in their car, and like, we didn't even have seatbelts. Oh my God!
I just said this the other day. Yeah,
we raised such wussies, man. It's sad.
Unbelievable. I said, my doctor asked me the other day, she said, the part of the thing, she's like, do you wear a seatbelt? I said, are you the police? I'm like, she's like, well, why can't you answer the question? I said, because I put it on if I feel like it. And if I don't, that's my ticket, not yours. That's not some sort of risk assessment, because every single Generation Xer is going to fail. We're all going to fail miserably. Yeah. But yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. But we've had so many near end of the worlds and wars, and the Civil War is going to break out, and this is going to, I mean, yes, we've had our riots and stuff, but nothing like it keeps getting predicted. And I think that's why I bowed out, and I'm like, I'm just going to delve into my story world. It's less chaotic.
But I used to do the same thing, though. When I would real life stuff, I used to put into a story, because not everybody, especially when it had to do with some of the high strangeness that we encounter, I would take it and I'd be like, I'd write a story about it. I think that's actually brilliant. Exactly. So all this, like you go through all of this, right? And then you come to the road and you start meeting like fellow degenerates like ourselves, or like, people who are in this, and like you realize a lot of people are real, like they live this. It changed my course of life completely. Like, but I didn't encounter what I thought. I mean, I really don't know though. I really don't know. I thought it was all paranormal up until a certain point. And in 2017, I saw something that was 50 foot in diameter. It was 30 feet away. There was no question I didn't even care prior to that if they existed or not. I was always afraid of ET coming through our sunlight, our skylights, like that. I do remember that as a kid, but my grandmother saw one. So it's like, in coming to this, it changes every part of your being.
It shatters the paradigm. I mean, I'm doing a lot of research right now on history that we were not taught, like the mud floods in Tartaria, the families. And what I'm learning, that everybody's waiting on the rapture, Jesus's return. And the research I'm coming to find is that all already happened. And the 1,000 years of peace was the Empire of Tartaria, that had technology, steampunk stuff, and they even had FaceTime back then. All of this technology. And then when the 1,000 years was coming up, the powers that be, the families, they had issues over power struggles, and of course, there were brothers and cousins, but there was 9 of them all in the same family that were kings of all of the countries in Europe, in the area. And that's when they went after one of their brothers or cousins, who was Prince Ferdinand something. Him and his wife were shot in their car, and that started World War One. And as these wars are going on, the wars weren't for, my country's great, your country sucks. No, it was, now that the 1,000 years of reign of peace, the Tartarian Empire, all these beautiful buildings and structures and society, it had to be destroyed. History had to be erased. So they implemented these world wars, getting us to hate each other and then want to fight, when in fact what they were doing was taking the best of each country and sending them off to the slaughter, leaving everyone else weaker. And you have not foster kids, but orphaned children who are then displaced and put into orphanages and on orphan trains to ship to be other parts of the world and other parts of the country. A lot of kids from Australia were shipped to America. A lot of kids from America were shipped to Australia to just throw them off because their young minds were more malleable. Whereas the husbands, they're going to fight, so get rid of them. The moms, they're gonna protest. No, this is not how life was. This is how life was. Where they go? The sane asylums. Anybody that protested said, no, Tartaria and all that. That was how it was. They put in insane asylums. And all these buildings just pop out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And these buildings, these huge buildings that hold like hundreds of patients, are in the middle of a dirt field in a town of 20 or 30 people. Who built it? Because it was founded after the mud flood. And the mud flood, I believe, was technology that Tesla was working on, the death ray, which was an electromagnetic weapon. Now, with frequencies. Now, you take a frequency and you have soil, okay? The soil can liquefy and everything goes down. That's why you had this even 1-story, 2-story flood of mud everywhere worldwide. Because Tesla's technology could bounce all over the world. So,
there's definitely something to it. There's definitely something to it. Definitely. I'm right there with you. I definitely. So what point do you think the technology, do we self-destruct? Do we do a reset? Why is it gone? Where do we lose it?
Well, greed. And they call this 1,000-year period, after the mud flood, they call it Satan's little season. It's where he gets his 1,000 years of reign. And then, God comes back and, it's, back and forth, back and forth.
Somebody in chat, Matt Paxmas, said, have you looked into Satan's little season timeline? You're right there.
I'm waiting to order the book, and I am really intrigued to learn more about it. There's another one called An Army of 1,000 Faces, I think, or something of 1,000 Faces, that talks about how these wars are just, it's orchestrated. Well, why do they say, well, we're putting so many soldiers into the theater? How the hell would you call it a theater?
Yeah, right.
They say things in plain sight, and we're served whatever you tell us, we will believe.
Yeah.
So
no,
I'm going to just say this.
My gosh.
For those who don't know, I'm a writer too, and I have this book coming out called "Fly the Rise of Jett Parker." And boom, okay, dude, it's coming out by Simon and Schuster, hopefully by April. There, let's get this out of the way. Boom, there it is. You can get it on Amazon right now, but it will be republished by Simon Schuster at Archway Publishing, and that's going to be a big deal. It's going to be in airports. That's going to be pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But I'm also working on 20 other stories, 20 total actually, and it's my own universe. And I have this one that I can't even give the title, and all my titles are one word. But this one is going to explain why the Earth is going to where it's going, why there's, climate change, why every dystopian movie has the same element, which is a lack of oxygen. Everybody's like, got to pay for their oxygen or whatever. I
can see that happening. Oh yeah.
So I explain all this, and it explains the city of Sidonia on Mars, and it explains our soul. I mean, it's not an original concept, but it's a concept that nobody's run with, and it's gonna be like one of those things like the Matrix. It's gonna make people think about things a lot differently. And all of my stories are like that. They have a message or a lesson that is for the betterment of man. So, and this is my website. These are the 3 book covers for the stories for Fly. And hopefully
give us a little background on this, because you said that you wanted to initially, right? You wanted to be a fighter pilot, or?
Oh yeah, well, I come from a family of pilots, so I'm the first one that didn't become a pilot.
I went to aviation school, but I didn't go any further. I mean, I have my pilot's license, but not flying like F-18s or anything exciting.
Well, and that's why I love all of the new air drones and air bikes. Have you seen the guy that has the little crotch rocket that he sits on, and he flies through the forest like a stormtrooper in Return of the Jedi?
Yeah,
it looks like a motorcycle, but with no tires. It's just the seat, right?
Yes, yeah.
His name is Thomas. We're in talks to have him in part 3 of my film series. We've got jetpacks, we've got wingsuit dog fights through the mountains of Dubai.
I saw that you had something, didn't you? Like for $2,000, you could take the test flight or something.
Yes, Gravity Inc. They're out of the UK, but they do test flights in California. I think it's Bakersfield. But they're the ones that have the 2 rocket engines on each wrist, and then a big backpack with 3 engines, and they kind of just float. And what's so crazy is in my story in part 2, Dancing with Gravity, the kids are at an air show, and I wrote about him and his team doing the first ever jetpack race. And it's in the book, it's in the script, it's been copywritten way back then, so I can say that. And about 6 months ago, they held the very first jetpack race in Dubai, and I'm like, I wanted to film that. So everything in the movie is real stuff. None of it's make believe. It's stuff that is going to be available when the movies come out. We're also trying to speak with Jetson, who does the Jetson 1, which is like the little go-kart drone. I want to get all of them in there. We also have not Felix. We were trying to get Felix Baumgartner, the guy that skydived in space, but he just recently passed away, so that won't happen. But his name just escaped me. I got all these people. Ves Rossi, who's known as Jetman Dubai, he has the wing foil and he flies around. And there's a video of him flying beside the French Air Force. And I love that video so much. I contacted him and said, would you and the French Air Force reenact that for my film? And he goes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
We've got Kirby Chimless, Red Bull stunt pilot. If you saw 6 Underground with Ryan Reynolds, he's the opening pilot scene where Ryan stages his death in the first 2 minutes. And that's Kirby. All of our flyers, which is about indoor skydiving, by the way. They're all world champions, Guinness Book World Record holders, 3-time world champions. I mean, they're all the best of the best. And this story, Fly, is the first of its kind about the sport of indoor skydiving. And indoor skydiving, there's just never been anything about it. It's been seen in commercials, YouTube, Red Bull videos, stuff like that, but not a storyline with characters going into depth with the community and the kids. Children 4 to 100 do this competitively. And it's not just sitting there floating. I mean, these kids, they're dancing, they're doing all kinds of amazing things. Sorry?
No, I said it's intense. It's not, this is
it really is. And we even got a soundtrack for the first film. And then this video with all these flyers. This is Leonid Volkov right now. He's one of the characters.
Can he play it?
Yeah, if it'll play. Hold on.
We support Fly the movie.
Hi, my name is Liz Hernandez-Leroy, and I support Fly the movie.
Hi, I'm Valérie Le Guenec, and I support Fly the movie.
Hey, I'm Dave Dennis, and I support Fly the movie.
We are To Kill a Mockingbird, and we support the Fly movie.
Hi, I'm
Kyle Dayborn. I'm the Junior Freestyle Australian Champion of 2019, and I support Fly the Movie.
My name's Phil Dayborn, and I'm Kyle Dayborn's dad, and I support Fly the Movie.
Hi, I'm Frederick, Michael Jackson tribute artist from Las Vegas. I support Fly the Movie.
What's up? My name is Bricks, and I support Fly the Movie.
Hi, my name is Kellyanne Murphy, and I support Fly the Movie. Go Doc!
My name is Axel Kovac, and I support the Fly movie.
Hi, I'm Chris Alba, Refine Brother, and I support Fly the movie.
Hi, my name is Danny Steele, and I support Fly the movie.
Hi, I'm Rodney Collins, and I support Fly.
Hello, everyone. My name is Prince Fleet Easton, and I support the movie Fly.
Real Prince.
Go, Doc.
Hello, my friends. I am Lenny Volkov. I am world champion on freestyle, and I support Fly the movie.
Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Julian out of Belgium. I'm 16 years old, and I love skydiving, so I support Fly the movie because I love the concept, and I'm a skydiver too. So I've been on competitions, and I'm already at the 10th place of the world. I'm 3 times Belgian champion, and I really appreciate what Doc Skinner is doing for us. He's want to make it big. So everybody make a video like this, and hopefully I see you soon.
Regan, I know you've been working and commentating the Wing Games 2020 for 3 days, but what do you got to say?
I support Fly the movie.
That's awesome.
So
that is very cool.
Yeah, and when I got there, it was how do I close that off there? That's all I was
take it off.
There we go. I was just gonna do a run and gun, kind of documentary style originally. And when I flew out to Spain to recruit all these kids for the film, I get there, and the last guy that you saw, he's like the Howard Cosell of all body flight sports, skydiving, jetpacks, space, everything, airplanes, balloons. And he was on the air during the Wing Games, which is like their Olympics for the sport in Spain, in Imperial Brava, Spain. And I walk in, and I'm by myself, never been overseas, don't speak Spanish. And this little TV person says, "Oh my God, with headset on." And they're like, "Are you Doc Skinner?" And I'm just like, "What?"
That's awesome.
What? And he was like, "They want to interview." I'm like, "What?" I don't know anybody here, And like, "Oh, I've been watching you online." And I'm like, "Holy crap!" And that was the first moment I was like, "There's something going on here that I'm not aware of." And by the end of that 3 days, I found out through family members and other flyers from all over the world. They're like, "You got to do this film. It's our turn. We want to be seen. We work hard with our skills, and we want to share it with the world." So that's when it became bigger than me, and it's becoming bigger than me. I mean, my director, Brad Martin, this guy's first day on the job years and years and years ago was George Clooney's double as Batman.
Oh,
then he
very
was
cool.
Spider-Man's double. And he just finished recently he just finished a $300 million film with Ryan Reynolds called Mayday. And he's going to do my trilogy. He's been friends before COVID, and he was kind of a mentor. He's the one that told me to break Jett's knee in the beginning, He had that character arc. And I'm like, "Oh."
That's great.
So I say he told me to swipe the knee.
Take him out.
And he's just been such an amazing sport. It was someone that shouldn't even bother with little me, nobody. And he took me under his wing. And he goes, "Look, I know I said I was just gonna mentor you, but I want to direct all 3." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Nice.
I put him on the IMDb, and I jumped up like 1 million plus overnight.
That's awesome.
So the movies are going to be amazing. Every action movie you can think of, he's a part of. I mean, all of them. And Matrix, Avatar, he's done them all.
Right up your alley, then. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited. But it's also something that's never been done with the effect of having a glass tube because you have to have lights and cameras and everything. So they're like, how are we gonna get, we can't green screen it, how are we gonna do this? And being at these events, I've seen all these kids with DSLR cameras. I said, just hand the cameras to kids and let them film it, because they do this all the time for like music videos and stuff of kids flying in the chamber. Let them hide them in plain sight. So that's how we're gonna solve that issue. But anyway, so yeah,
hidden in plain sight. That's such a good point, because everything, like, people who don't know, like, SNX actually stands for subliminal dissemination, which is subnation, which is all cryptic, and SNX is the thing, because it's true. Everything is like, you know, I don't even know sometimes if they're hiding it anymore.
A lot of times, especially musicians, you know, they're just so blatant. Like, that's why I'm starting to agree with the whole Satan's Little Season concept, and that's why I'm looking forward to learning more about it.
Yeah, this is the first time I've heard about it. I saw Matt Paxmas put it up, and I'm like, sounds interesting.
There's several books on Amazon. I'm waiting to get one and dabble in that. But that's my thing. I mean, UFOs are great. Aliens, yep, they're here. They've been amongst us forever. You're probably married to one, you know, you don't know.
Yeah.
And and if you're having a hard time with it, build a bridge. Get over it.
Give yourself a little hug, maybe, like some, you know, like self-love. Yeah, pat on the shoulder.
Okay.
Tell yourself
What do
you're
you
gonna
think
be okay.
we was all about? What do you think, you know, They Live was about?
Yeah. I was a part of the Hetlau movement, which is humanoid extraterrestrials live among us. And that's where, like, we started to get into the Navy coding, the brevity coding, and started to hack through some of that, finding, you know, the real terms, because UFOs obviously is not, you know, identified. And so we were kind of going through it, and I did a lot of that. But any which direction, when you'd say that, like going back 10 years ago, like, ET is here. This is ET architecture all around us. They live among us. People could not. I mean, that was like telling them that, you know.
Well, that's why they took over the entertainment industry and did soft disclosure through TV shows and movies to get us accustomed and comfortable with the ideas and the thoughts of this could be something, you know, which it was. Dragons. By the way, dragons were real, folks. T-Rexes, they just took the wings away at the Smithsonian. It was a dragon. Why do you think they have little birdie hands? Not because it's a T-Rex. It's because it's a dragon.
No, that makes sense. That is probably the first thing that has made sense, because I started looking into how real dinosaurs are, and it turns out like.
Okay, you want to go there?
Yeah,
we
let's
can go there. You want to go there?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of time we got, but we can go there. All right. When the Earth was in a point in our Goldilocks zone, oxygen was abundant. We also had trees that were like a mile high. We had giants that were hundreds and hundreds of feet high. Okay. Those trees provided oxygen at a higher altitude for creatures that were breathing at a higher altitude, because now they don't. It's like, you know, altitude pressure, you know, it's not as much oxygen the higher you go, but back then there was. And then, of course, we had the Nephilim, the giants, coming in and causing all their havoc and popping their heads off and all the blood and all that fun, you know, biblical stuff, right? And God was like, it's not what I like put together. So he had his archangels, Michael, on come down and swoop, chop down all those trees. We call them plateaus now. And by doing that, it gave away any escape that these giants would have from the big flood. Because they didn't want to climb into the top and just wait out till the flood, you know, went down. They wanted to make sure they had nowhere to go. Hence why you see the mountains, the people all laying down, like in the Disney movie, the Hawaiian thing, you know, and the body comes up. Yeah. Oh, you didn't play with that? Okay. All the Tibetan salt rock. Okay. When you go to one of those mines and you look at it and they slice it up, it looks like slices of bacon because it's petrified muscle. That's why it's salty. Why it's salty.
Wow.
Yeah, you come out here to the prehistoric forest the petrified forest, I mean, everybody looks and it's beautiful, all the trees and the branches. Those people think those are the trees. It's like, no, those are leftover twigs from the big tree over yonder where the plateau seems to be, and no life around it because it had the canopy over it for the longest time. Cameron knew what was going on. George Lucas knew what was going on. All the stuff you see in Star Wars, all those glamorous buildings, Queen Abdallah, with the horn, that's the exact same outfit of the Queen of Tartaria. Lucas was talking about the time of Tartaria.
Oh boy.
Okay? Star Trek. So that was our past. Star Trek was telling us about our future.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Which Gene Roddenberry, he had a friend that was OSA, and they were, drinking cognac and smoking cigars at this cabin once a year. And his friend was telling him certain things that him and his Men in Black friends did. And Gene was like, the world's got to know. He's like, if you want to wake up tomorrow, you're not going to say jack squat. Now, at that time, Gene Roddenberry was a comic book writer.
They'll have you in a mental institution by the end of the week. Don't say a word.
But he was smart. You know what he did? He told the stories and called it science fiction. Sci-fi.
Ta-ta. Yes.
Self-disclosure.
I understand that. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense because that's exactly how I handled it too as a kid, Like my mom's ready to call the priest for an exorcist because I'm talking to like spirits and I'm proving it, like I'm bringing it. And so then I had to start writing it as a story. So that to me makes perfect sense as to how this stuff, it is so crazy. And people, just take a step back and start digging through this. You have a great mind. I'm like, seriously, I'm like, I get this. I get so much of this, but you can't just talk about this to anybody.
Where I could take it next would literally.
Let's take it there. Like I'm gonna get excited. Yeah,
it's such a new concept. Well, not necessarily it's new, but it's been neglected. Really, it was given a glimpse to the world on a talk show for a brief moment, and most people it went one ear and out the other. Whereas myself, I heard it and I was like, oh, this explains everything. This explains our planets in our solar system, why they are in the order they are. Why?
Are you talking about the zeitgeist?
Huh?
Are you talking about the zeitgeist?
No. This is. Yeah, I don't want to see because it's everything I try to do is I try to make sure it hasn't been done or like think way outside the box so it's different. And I don't want to give away too much on this, but I will once it's written and my publisher has it and we're all good.
Oh, this is in the making then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I will this one in particular because it's so unique. I can't give it away. But the other ones that I'm doing what was it? I had it up. One's called Giants. The other one is Dragons. I'm doing one called Tartaria. The reset. So I'm going headfirst in the deep end in all of this. And the motivation is because I'm really, really pissed at the Rockefellers for manipulating our country's education system to believe a bunch of lies.
That's exactly where the dinosaur lie came from too. Oh, yes.
I mean, here's the thing though. There's all these paintings and images in the Bible. The Bible talks of dinosaurs multiple times. Multiple times. The dinosaur was the dragon.
I believe that now.
That's it.
Yeah.
They were still around. And
so that's what they don't
our
want.
Whole history is a bunch of crap.
They don't want to. Yeah. You know what? Okay. So the Smithsonian obviously in bed together with the rest of them we talked about. But what in the you mean like all these years that I'm thinking these bones we're not supposed to knock over or get anywhere near that they're the actual. No, most of them, it turns out, are chicken bones from China. And that they say that the real bones can't be out on display because they're radioactive. So I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah. Yeah. So we're leaving museums glowing if they were. I don't know. Like, what the
we're just going to let our employees in the basement glow. That's it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Why don't you guys
Oh, yeah.
wand them to see if they have? Yeah, it's just crazy to think that all this stuff. And I'm like, at what point? What is what are these stupid museums about then? Like, I would have tipped over a few of them if I had known that they weren't
It's
real.
narration control. That's all it is. It's narration control, because we see these buildings and these, we see it as an authoritative figure of history and knowledge.
Yes.
And so we're raised, don't question it. If they know, then that's how it is.
Oh yeah, you do
Still
not
human beings.
Yeah.
So yeah, so my big thing is these 20 stories, which includes the Fly trilogy. They all stand alone, but they all connect, like a Marvel universe without the superhero powers. It's more realistic and more scientific. It connects everything, even frequencies. Like you say, you see ghosts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get in on how our brain is a wireless computer, so an organic wireless computer, and we're tapping into the Akasha records or the wireless internet or whatever you want to call it. And because of fluoride and the pink juice in the gate program, our pineal glands were calcified and we lost those abilities. That's why they go after them when they're kids.
Aluminum, yeah,
And
springs, guys.
all that stuff they put in our food and water and whatnot. It's all a combination, like in Batman, where with Michael Keaton, where the Joker mixes up the concoctions in multiple products in makeup and hair and all this. And if you had the right concoction, it killed you with a smile. Remember, that was the whole Batman episode or the movie with Prince. The soundtrack.
Oh, is that
so like everybody died with the Joker smile because they had the. But when that was going on, you saw the news reporters, and it was a woman and a man, and their hair's all like messed up, like morning hair, no makeup, trying to report the news because they can't put any products on. Well, that's what they've been doing to us, and causing all kinds of illnesses and deaths because it's population control, which goes back millennia. I mean, the Aztecs, you had the Aztecs who had the soothsayers that were basically in charge behind the scenes. And when the population got too big and people started going, I could think for myself, then the rebellion would start. The soothsayers, being knowledgeable of the stars and cycles and whatnot, knew when an eclipse was coming, and they would wait. And then as the crowds would get crazy and people would be becoming obnoxious and just not following the rules, they would say, if you don't do it, the gods will take the sun away. And they're like, and then it would happen. And all these Neanderthals would be like, oh my God, they were right. And so just with a thought, they took control of society, and they would keep doing it in cycles. When they had too many, that's when they'd line them up the stairs to the top, to put them on their back, slice their throat, cut open their chest, rip out their heart, and chop the head off, and then roll down. It was population control.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Do you think that there's a certain percentage? I mean, I understand the rebellion, like I understand all of that, but do you think that a certain, I guess, the gate program, or how do they know who's coming? Is it just history over time, or do you think there's more to this? Like,
who knows what
certain
now?
people. Let me see.
Like picking us out for gate program?
No, I'm like just kind of like that would be an example that we're not just the rebellion, but there's something more going on here that they obviously need people for. I feel that's like every bit of research that I have has taken me that direction. They're literally trying to identify something they know is coming, but they don't know exactly who it is.
It's like it's like Neo, who's Neo, or the one if you reverse it. You knew that, right?
It's like, who are they? I'm like, they are who they are. I don't know exactly who they are by name, but the people who are in control of this.
Well, if you want to go to where the buck stops, I will refer you to a particular movie that did not do very well, not because it wasn't good, it was because it was suppressed in theaters, because the government knew the movie revealed a little too much truth. on how our planet is for the harvesting of souls. Souls are energy. They sustain life. And in the movie, Jupiter's Ascension, the families, that's what they would do. They would take control of these planets for the souls, which was their adrenochrome, to give them everlasting life. And it was 2 on the head. And so they, suppressed the movie, gave it bad reviews because it told too much.
Yeah, I just wrote it down, so I'll have to check into that. I will definitely.
Yeah,
have to
now watch it with that in mind, and you'll be like, oh, and then you think of the Matrix. We're all batteries, So
a huge topic on the table, and this is kind of jumping a bit, but
don't jump everywhere.
I know, like your brain, you have the same brain.
Everywhere.
Yeah, this is like I can go, whatever direction. The going to the white light, is that the soul trap? Is that going to suck you right back here?
Yeah, that's the lamp in the hospital room. And she's coming right back out.
That's what I said. Then there's countless souls here, because when you go through it, haunted, go to the white light. I said I probably got them sucked right back here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You put them right back on the conveyor belt.
I'm so sorry. Is there any redemption for this now? But how do we maneuver through this? I feel like has to be a way we can think about. I said, don't make any split decisions. Anytime we've learned anything in history, just don't do something rash. You have time to take a breath, even though you don't have your breath left.
And that's what we would rationally think. But who's to say that when we cross over, our way of thinking is completely different instantly?
Yeah, it's going to be totally different.
Yeah, I mean, because
do you think it's that, or do you think that it's going to be this is even another scenario? What if you all of a sudden you think this is it, crossing, and then something comes over and says, "Oh, congratulations, Doc Skinner, you have completed your simulation on planet Earth."
And you wake up in a
totally fine. Yeah, 20 years. Yeah, whatever.
Those are the best movies. The last second, you're like, it was just they're just schizophrenic. Oh, no, I did. I saw this. Well, I saw a space movie the other night. It was one of those, and they don't do it till the last 10 seconds. You're like, wait, what? Those are the best ones.
They're the best ones for sure.
Before we went to movie,
it took me forever for the Fight Club to figure out what was going on. I fell asleep, and then I was like, "Oh, there you go." Now
I remember I watched A Beautiful Mind by myself, and
oh yeah,
my wife. I told her, "This is a great movie. You got to watch this movie." I was laughing the whole movie because I was like, "I get it."
Yeah.
And then my wife, my ex-wife, when she watched it, she was like, "I don't understand." And we're like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "All I remember, you were laughing in here by yourself watching this what's the funny part?" I am a little weird. Yeah. But
I always say that the beautiful mind. I think I said that about the thing before. That's exactly what
I just think I was laughing because I was like, for the first time, I was like, someone that can relate.
Yes, that's exactly. Oh my
like
God,
I said, the whole aliens and the stuff. Being an entertainer, creative mind, I have to always ask myself, am I just got a really good imagination? Have I seen so many movies that it just subliminally put this together? So I have to doubt myself, at times, just to keep things in check. But,
I want to just make sure, I always test it out. Oh, well, maybe that was a fluke 5051, I do the same thing. And I prove it to myself again.
Yeah, it's just that little bit of skepticism. Well, there's nothing wrong with skepticism. It's the cynicism I can't stand. It drives me nuts. Yeah. People are like, oh, it's the guy from Jurassic Park, the physicist, anyway. Mind million places at once right now.
No, I get that.
I feel like I'm AI myself. Oh no, I'm AI. The brain. Okay, so Dr. Persinger, Canadian professor, awarded best speaker, and he is really amazing. Dr. Persinger, he created
and this was actually on the cover of National Geographic back in the 80s. He created what was known as the God helmet. It was like a motorcycle with all the probe, right? Okay. And if you want an amazing lecture, if you can handle it, if you're good with that, it's called No More Secrets by Dr. Persinger. P.E. Persinger. And he talks about how they were able to put that on somebody in an isolation room, and they would literally think they were in heaven talking with angels, or in hell, or just all these different dimensions and stuff with this helmet on. He starts talking about how when people sleep on the dark side of the earth, okay, it's like we're all plugging in to recharge, from the day. And when we all fall asleep, we all we have our out-of-body experience, and we're in the Akashic records, which is like the cosmic internet, which would explain shared people that have shared dreams. This would show that contact there. But when he discussed it, he doesn't say this specifically. I kind of put this together, was that when we sleep, the earth doesn't have solar flares bombarding the dark side, right? It's just on the bright side. That's what the electromagnetosphere is there, which causes the aurora borealis and northern lights. It's protecting us. So when the earth is on the dark side, the electromagnetosphere is taking that time to re-energize and heal itself from the day of bombardment. While that's going on, we're able to connect to this dream state. Well, my theory is when we die, our organic wireless computer takes the entire hard drive of our life and compresses it into a zip file, which is your life flashing before your eyes. Okay. Then when you're going through that tunnel of light or whatnot, and you're just, that's literally an upload to the cosmic internet that is made up. The Akashic Records is literally the electromagnetosphere of our planet. It's not just a protector from the sun. It is literally an organic, cosmic hard drive. And heaven, all of our loved ones and everybody, they're literally up there in the clouds. The electromagnetosphere is electromagnetic, like an audio tape, a VHS tape. Anything, it can hold video, data, and audio, right? Definitely. So think of it on a cosmic level, not a physical tape, but electromagnetic field that can hold and contain the entire lifespan of every living creature that has, does, or will live on this planet.
No, that would make sense. In one of my experiences that I had with ET, I asked them how they relived like memory, or how they did, and they literally is just all set up holographically. It's all recorded, all, they can go and experience it, but yet it won't affect it. So they said it's kind of an inner loop within an inner loop within it's like the infinity.
Yeah.
But,
and if you keep going to the line, you keep popping. I mean, yeah, you're going to keep looping. But I think as we become old souls, been around a few times, we start to realize that when our end comes, to keep in mind, do you want to go to the light and do it again?
No, God, no.
And the bad thing is a lot of us, we're glutton for punishment.
Are you going for another round of this?
I don't know if we'll be around. Earth specifically, Earth will be here in a sense, but in a different place. And that's all a part of this story's got like a whole Dan Brown, a Da Vinci Code kind of vibe, because you have this smart guy who's constantly just spewing off awesome knowledge.
This is what happens when you have a high IQ. Like people don't know what the gifted and talented program is. This is a result of it. I have to show you my research. This is like part of my this is layers deep of how I put together. I'll color code it.
No,
I know.
If you had yarn and strings, I would question it. Yeah, if you had the yarn and string, we'd be questioning. But it looks very OCD, so you're not that. Yeah, you should be.
It's crazy. I start putting these big, huge, I think of the guy with the mathematical equation, so that's not it. But I I mean, I could figure out like you wouldn't even believe some of the stuff that goes through my mind. But it's
Here's what
great
you do.
that there's other people.
Go to Home Depot and get a 4x8 or 4x6 sheet of marker board and just put 2 of them up on your wall. And you can write. Then you look like the dude from Beautiful Minds.
Yeah.
That's it everywhere, all over the walls and stuff. And for me, it's a turn on. I really want that.
I know. A part of me gets it. A part of me gets it. You know, I'm like, wow.
Because you have everything there. It's not all swimming around up here. It's structured. Yet anybody that walks in thinks you're just a lunatic.
Right.
But like the guy on the street corner, you got it all together. It's just coming out in blurps, not full sentences.
I know. People like, stay with me. I'm like, no, stay with me. I'm connecting big dots here. That's what I'm trying to do. Am I jumping around? Yeah, that part doesn't matter. Come with me. It's just like it's hard for people. Like I just remember like my mom being like, I just can't. She said my brain can't. It just can't. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Not everybody can handle it. It's a certain type of personality that can deal with all this information and not be in a padded room. It's because you can't unlearn things.
No, you can't. You can't. And then you can't unsee. And you can't
but you can become more and more numb.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm coming to find that just because
the passenger.
I don't know if you watch. I don't know if you're a fan of like Supernatural, but I get Sam and Dean. You ever watch Supernatural?
Oh, I don't think I have seen that one. Maybe no, that sounds familiar.
No, you would know. You would know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch it for a decade because it says Supernatural, and I was like, it's such a great show. And it incorporates, the rapture and Armageddon and Michael, the archangels, and heaven versus hell, and it all balances on the shoulders of these 2 brothers for 15 seasons. They're going to do like the 16th one this year. And actually, Fly, the 3rd movie, has a lot of tributes to that show. And to the creators of Supernatural, little head nods, you might say.
I'm gonna have to check it out now. Now you got piques my interest. Yeah.
There's a reason why it's been. Yeah. Anyway, you will thank me, and you're gonna be in love with Sam and Dean. Just know, like every other decent woman out there, because they're awesome. But yeah. Anyway. Well, that was a left turn.
I take them all the time. No, that's okay. Like I'm in my head processing it. I have like a list of things that along that I'm writing down. So I'm definitely checking this stuff out.
Yeah, I being the talk show host and having so amazing guests, I have a lot of just knowledge.
Isn't it awesome? I never take that for granted because I was like being in this position, you get to ask your questions to the people. You don't have to go, you get to ask your questions to the same people, and that to me is like,
it's an honor.
Yes, it is. Definitely. I never take that part for granted ever.
Yeah. I love my guests. I don't think I've ever had a guest that I wouldn't have back on. But knowing that I had my firsts, and now his name just flew out the door.
You'll remember it at 3 a.m.
The guy from Antarctica. The guy.
Oh, you're talking about Olsen, Brad Olsen?
No, not Brad. Brad was a roommate for a while too. His show, Antarctica by Sail, which is online. He traveled to Antarctica. He came home and he goes, "Hey Doc, can you direct edit this thing?" And I was like, "Well, what is it?" He goes, "It's my trip to Antarctica." I'm like, "Oh hell yeah!" And it was basically all movies, and I had to spice it all up. But it was a lot of fun. It was an honor. Not many people can say they did an Antarctica show.
So that's fascinating. That is fascinating.
But yeah, I've got to do some really cool things. I'm
So
very
there's
happy.
somebody else that's Antarctica too. Like, I mean, you're not talking about like Admiral Byrd.
No, it's the guy.
Like-
He was at the UFO Congress thing. He spoke. He was the guy that had keys to all the places in Antarctica.
Oh,
I was the first person to have him on a show.
Really?
And people didn't think him, seriously. I mean, I did, but yeah, I had him on first. Not Michael, but the guy that did the mind maps of the conspiracies and cults and all that. That was the first, and that's what I love. I love giving these people the opportunity to speak, to come out, and even podcasters, not just be a podcaster at my event, but come speak, like Rex Bear. Rex Bear came out originally just to broadcast and do a show, and that was the whole point. And by year 3 or 4, he was speaking on stage. Jim Goodall.
Oh, I love Jim Goodall. Oh my gosh, I am the best.
So nobody
Jim
knew.
Goodall is always my first guest. Like anytime I start a new series or start something, Jim Goodall's the one. Last time he was supposed to be on the show, we couldn't find Jim. He shows up. I track him down after with this huge jar pot. And it was probably one of the funniest things I ever. He said my back hurt, and that's why I didn't make it. I said it had nothing to do with that jar.
Well, you're a good person, just so you know.
I love it. I love it.
No, I mean Jim. Nobody knew who Jim was at the time. He was Bob's friend, Bob Lazar.
Yes.
He was just they've been best friends for forever before Bob was Bob Lazar. And we were at the UFO Congress in Phoenix. Jeremy Corbell.
Yeah, I hate Jeremy. I'm sorry.
He was premiering his movie Lazar, and it wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, not the movie, just you know
what the Element 115 was all about. When they said the raid
Oh,
happened.
Element 115. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what the raid was for?
The raid?
Yeah, because he claims that, oh my gosh, Jeremy Corbell claimed that Bob Lazar was getting raided because of the Element 115. But what happened was United Nuclear was actually involved, a girl's murder, and so the police were coming in. That's why the FBI came in. There was no raid over that, and he literally put Bob Lazar in a compromising
position.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, basically the story, he was promoting the film, and I was watching a friend's podcast booth, but it was like a separate room from where they were presenting the movie, right? And the room I was in was the vending room, and I was the only person in there. I was like, I'm over it. I'm just gonna sit here and chill, wait till everybody comes back. And I was sitting there, and this older gentleman comes up and he's looking up and down the booth. What is this? And he's like, oh, I'm just, friend's got a podcast. And he's kind of watching the booth while they're in there watching the Bob Lazar thing. And he goes, why aren't you in there? I was like, it's all good. I said, well, why aren't you in there? He goes, I've seen it. I was like, oh, well, who are you? Oh, I'm Bob's friend. Jim Goodall. And for some reason, the name Jim Goodall because I'm an Air Force brat. And I must have heard of him somewhere because it just resonated. And when he said, I'm Jim Goodall, I said, have a seat. Tell me a story. And he just starts talking. And he'll tell you, if you ask him about me, and he's done this multiple shows, and I just love him for this. He's just a sweetheart. But he says when he and I met, it was like meeting an old friend. And I love it. He came up here in his black SR-71 Corvette to help me.
He crashed it, so he just got a red one now. Yeah,
that was before that. But he came all the way up the mountain for 3-hour drive. He loves to drive it anyway, but to help me move. I mean,
isn't he nice?
Oh, yeah. And
he's coming through Iowa. He'll stop. I'm like, he's probably one of the coolest people I know. Yeah.
Oh, he loves road trips.
Yeah, he does.
Well,
yeah, he does.
Drive. you know,
But he came and helped you move. Like that's
yeah.
so Jim. That's so cool.
Yeah, my first dinner in the house was pizza with him and a friend named Cheryl, and yeah, he's awesome. He comes and stays up here when he's driving through as well, and he is a true brother. I love him. But I told him that day, after we were done talking, I said, we're gonna make you famous. so I had him on my show, and he did a couple shows with me, and then I hooked him up with the Cousins brothers over at Third Phase of Moon.
No, they're part of his stops too. Yeah.
And then
Oh yeah.
he just blew up from there. He's done so many damn documentaries I can't even keep up. I'm just like,
I know.
yeah,
That's amazing. So he said, I'm going up to the Hollywood Hills to visit the Cousin brothers. I'm like, I live up there now.
I'm like the last one in the gang that hasn't been up there yet. So I gotta go.
Man.
I'm actually going to plan on doing that this month, because I've got a bunch of stops I'm working on, and I got to meet with a company. If you look up Gateway Spaceport, that's the company that's going to be building the first wheel space station in orbit, and I'm a part of that.
Good for you.
I'm the entertainment and zero gravity sports management director. So any kind of entertainment, because it's going to be like a cruise ship, it holds 300 people comfortably, and I was with the very first private space company before Virgin, before SpaceX, before Blue Origin and all that. It was Space Island Group out of Ontario, California. And we were going to do SpaceX basically and use old side rocket boosters and external tanks, the big orange tank on the back of a shuttle or on the bottom of the shuttle. On a launch pad, it's like 16, 17 stories high. On the side, it's like 3 stories. Now you connect 16 to 17 of them together with couplings in between and use old side rocket boosters as spokes. And then the tank in the middle, you have a space wheel with, traveling shafts that you can go, travel. And then 9/11 happened after we had all this money coming in from all these countries that wanted to invest. 9/11 happened.
Stuff derailed everything.
Oh God, did they derail us? I mean, because we were getting over like 30 million here, 30 million there, it was red flags with Homeland Security. So they ended up basically stealing all the money from us and holding it up in court, and all that didn't happen. And I thought, well, my chances of being the first DJ in space are out the window now. Until a few years ago when John Blinko, the president of Gateway Space Program, he and I connected, and we just clicked. And he goes, "You want to do it? You want the job?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I want the job."
Yeah, it's me twice, right?
And what's so cool is that the Ring space stations play a very integral part in my 20-story saga, more towards near the ends, of course, which incorporates the Ring space stations. And also incorporates some religious elements to it too, to give it that rapture, Armageddon thing. Meek shall inherit the earth and all this. And so, yeah, my goal is to leave behind some really cool stories that make people think differently about what we were taught growing up, and that aliens are here. I mean, anybody that says ancient astronauts theorists believe, I just psychically from afar, like some Stranger Things stuff. I just bitch slap them from afar,
right?
Because I just.
Do you have some of that too? That energy manipulation, obviously, like I'm sure. You have some tricks you do. I've got a couple. Just wonder.
Not any party tricks or anything like that, but I have done things. For example, I mean, we've been divorced a long time, but my ex-wife had an illness, and it would cause certain pain in her head. And I would do something where I would put my hand like about half an inch from her head, from the area. And I would visualize like all this ghostly image stuff being sucked out of the back of her head into my palm, and then I would ingest it basically. I would take it in.
Healer, yeah.
And I never. It was weird because it's like I knew what I needed to do, even though I hadn't done it before. And the fact that I wasn't saying anything, I just kind of had my head behind her head, she felt it and says, "What are you doing?" "What do you mean? What do you mean I'm doing?" She goes, "It feels like something's like pulling out of the back of my head." And I was feeling it. So that was like a confirmation that, okay, I got skills. I got tricks, you know?
Yeah.
The other thing is, well, do I give away all my secrets? Not that one, at least. Let me think. No. Lotto tickets. And I don't do it often.
Oh,
When I
you're
was
lucky.
younger-
Okay.
When I was younger, only scratch offs. But I'm 1000% believer in energy. You know, we feel it and all this stuff. I go to 7-Eleven and I would always get me strange looks from the person behind the counter, but I would sit my hand and I would like hover it over each of the tickets. You know how they have the rows of tickets in the glass box?
Yeah.
And when I felt a decent change of temperature in the palm of my hand, like some form of heat, I would think of the first number, 1 or 2, which would be like how many I would buy, and I get 1 or 2. And it may be a $5 win, but it was a winner. And so that became my thing. And
so you feel it out, and where you felt the energy or the warmth of the heat,
a warmth.
where you went, a warmth.
And that was kind of another thing I would do with cards, which I don't gamble, I don't play cards or anything because I don't ever want to get accused of stuff. But I was able to do stuff like that where if you had a bunch of cards, like gate kids, this is where I learned it.
Yeah.
It was in the gate program, was, you know, they have the cards turned over and they'll say, grab the one with a wavy line, right? Well, your hand, you hover it over. And when you feel that warmth, that's the connection saying this is the card you're looking for.
Oh.
And that's how, you know, the cosmos works with us. Here's a fun one. How many people out there did Randonautica during COVID?
What is that?
Randonautica?
Yeah.
Randonautica was an app that came out during COVID because everybody was stuck at home, right?
Yeah.
And so
not me. I was out fighting. I was out fighting the system.
Well, this was allowed you to go out and about on these really cool explorations. And what it was is this app was connected to a quantum laser driven computer at a university in Australia. Okay. Which thinks in different quantum levels, multiple dimensions. And you take this app, and I don't know if you can still, I don't know if it's still out there, it probably is, but you don't even speak. You look at the app and you think what your intention is. And I'll just keep it simple. Let's say you think purple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you hit this button, and within 2 seconds, it pops up a latitude and longitude for you to go to. Okay. And the idea of the program was to get people out and about to, you know, get off the, you know, beaten path and try different things. Well, you would go to this location and it might be a purple house. Okay. Well, this was great for people to explore with. But then the crazy millennials were like, we're stuck in a house. We want to go out and be scared. We want to go to haunted houses and cemeteries. And they started using it for ghost hunting, saying, take me somewhere scary. And it would end up in the middle of the field or wherever. And some dude with a hatchet would be standing there in the middle of the field. And a lot of people thought the Illuminati was running the program, and they had people and what do you call it? Agents all over the country. So when you were set off on a thing, they would be called and they were told to go out there to freak you out, right? Until a young couple, when they said, show us something scary, it took them to a pier along the ocean in California. I think it was California. And there was all these big boulder rocks and stuff, a breaker. And there was a suitcase. And they went over it. It was heavy as hell. It stunk. They called the cops. Inside were 2 human beings chopped up and smashed into this suitcase. When that broke on TikTok, it became the #1 downloaded app that summer. Everybody wanted it for the spooky element. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I was the first person to interview the creators of Randonautica. And that's on my YouTube channel, 1028 Productions. You can go check it out. Shows 1028 Live. And I brought up something that these creators of this program that work with quantum mechanics and a quantum laser driven computer hadn't even thought of. So it brought up on my show. When, let's say you wanted to find riches, treasure, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might send you in the middle of the forest, but you would come across a wallet with $3-4 in it, right? Okay. So what I discovered was this quantum driven phone app,
Wow,
was basically a quantum driven search engine. Now, let's hypothetically, we live in the matrix.
Yeah.
We're all code. Each one of us, each item, each pencil, the phone, whatever, each thing has its own code, its own thumbprint, right? Okay. So when you use Randonautica and you're like, I want to find treasure, or I want something purple, whatever it is, whatever the intentions, good, bad, dark, evil, quantum computer finds that item and sends you directly to it.
Oh, wow.
Randonautica, I told him, I was like, it's basically a quantum driven Google search engine for the Matrix. Little deep.
That would make sense. That would make sense. That would definitely make sense. Wow.
Yeah.
I just put into I have your YouTube and your TikTok. I didn't know you had a TikTok. Now I gotta go check out your TikTok too.
Oh, TikTok's there's a lot of reposts and stuff, just really great stuff that I come across. I'm like, I gotta share this with the world. Because a lot of people, everybody has different algorithms. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
And TikTok is amazing. God bless TikTok. It has helped change and what's the word I'm looking for? Restructure who we are as a society by allowing us to be the news, being the boots on the ground, not censored, not working for the man with an agenda. And that's what scared them. That's why their ratings went down. That's why nobody likes CNN and all these, because they know that we figured it out. The curtain was moved and we saw what was going on behind the curtain.
I give TikTok a lot of credit for that, because they had
amen.
that route spout of like videos that they were dumping, and I was like, yeah.
And all this, it's owned by China. Half America owned by China.
Yeah, I know.
The largest seaport in LA is owned by China.
Cameras. Yeah, I know. You're so worried about it. Quit buying their stuff. Yeah.
It's just I've gotten so old in my life now that I think it's a lot of it's silliness.
Oh yeah. No, silly. It's crazy. Like if they don't think that they're looking in and can see any, they're crazier. It's like all this stuff that I don't know if it's like Stockholm syndrome, like they literally are having this nice relationship with the people that are holding them hostage, is what I feel like.
Yeah, it's like the flea in the jar. You put fleas in a jar, you put a lid on it. They'll try to jump up, but they'll always hit that lid. And after a while, you take that lid off, and they'll jump, but they'll never go higher than where that lid was. It's mass control, and Pixar, God bless him for this, revealed to the world how it really plays out in A Bug's Life, where Hopper, the grasshopper guy, is explaining how we can't let one ant stand up to us, because if they know that they outnumber them 100-1, then the grasshopper's way of life will end. Yeah. And that's how the powers that be keep us in control. They feed us just enough,
oh yes, keep us dependent enough, just attached to that system
with the illusion of choice,
Oh yeah, right.
And they're really good at that. Yeah. Did you know that the gentleman that was in charge of the propaganda department for the Nazis, his grandson and daughter are the creators of Netflix?
I didn't know that, but that would make so much sense. That would make
especially during COVID, all of the woke crap. Yeah, that was them doing some Nazi propaganda stuff from their grandpa's book of manual.
I said you look to NASA and the only challengers that make it to the moon. Well, who's that? Werner von Braun, Operation Paperclip, and then they just I don't know if anybody realizes it, but the generations to come, the spawn, they don't necessarily like, I don't ever remember Warner coming out and being like, I have real remorse for what happened there and I didn't raise my children like that. I'm like, man, oh man, I don't even know how to help you at this point.
There was a short film on Netflix. It's like 20 minutes long. And it's like an animation. And it's about the Jews that were run out of their countries from the Nazis. They fled to America and they immediately got in line to join the army so they could go back and fight Hitler, right? Well, this group of Jewish American soldiers were told that they were going to get to fight Hitler, and they were all excited. They thought they were going to go overseas to Italy and all this stuff. And they were put on a bus and they were driven outside of Washington, D.C. city limits, out in the woods, to a private military facility that looked more like a country club than anything. Had swimming pools, tennis courts, all this stuff. And all these Jewish American soldiers just got out of boot camp.
Oh my God.
They have no rank.
Oh.
And they are in charge of this compound. And they're thinking, we were going to go back and fight. Why are we at this resort? Then the bus loads start coming in. And off these buses are all these Nazis, some of them still in full regular
Oh my God.
Off the front line. And they are glaring down these Jews who have like little stars and everything. And it is just a test of will. And these guys are ordered to babysit the Nazis who are eventually, they're in the Project Paperclip program.
Yeah.
And so they have to protect these guys. They had to take them out during the holidays in the city to go Christmas shopping, to buy negligees for their women.
Ah.
And they would speak German and everything. And citizens, Americans were like, what's going on here? And the Jewish were like, don't worry, but we got it. I mean, it's a 20-minute short film. And
I've got to watch this.
It's about, the name of it's like the mailbox number, because it was a secret location. And
that's exactly what they do, though. This is exactly what they do. It's like
and
the
none
Stanford
of this would have
Project.
ever been known, except that the facility, it was becoming a national park location.
Yeah.
They had to do a documentary on it, and they interviewed like the last few that were alive, and some of them were taped interviews. So you're hearing their actual story, and then of course it's animated. But that's the stuff what I want to reveal. I want to show the sides of history that people have been neglected to be educated about, which really, explains a lot of things in our history that most of the time we scratch our heads like, how did that happen? Like the mud flood. How did we get 1,000 extra years added to our timeline? Just I don't know.
Right.
You have buildings that were actually 798, but then all of a sudden there's new photos that shows they added a 1. Yeah. So that's my big thing. That's going to be my George Lucas Star Wars world is revealing what they were revealing, but showing it here on Earth,
That's amazing. I applaud your efforts. Like you're doing. I mean, this is stuff that you're right. Cause I'm the worst. Like I'll get a call from my son's school and I'm like, I'd probably take this a little bit more serious if 90% of what you taught us wasn't a bunch of BS. And they're on the other line thinking, oh God, I got a crazy lady on there. But I'm serious. I'm like, I can't even,
and they're the ones
that I've dug into. Yeah, I know. And they're teaching
it's
more.
The ultimate gaslighting routine.
It really is. It really is. But I want to thank you so much for coming on. You've been like, I mean, this is amazing on so many levels. And I would love to do like a part 2 with you. And like, once you get everything going, and that's awesome. Congratulations. I'm so glad you're like a breath of fresh air. You really are.
Thank you.
I'm like, I knew you were cool before, but like now I'm like, wow, when you put all that in perspective, you go like keep going and doing what you're doing. That's awesome. And so I would love to, and thank you so much for being here. And I always offer the chance for you. What would you like to leave the audience with today?
Well, a line that I basically ended every show with for years, and it's become a fundamental belief in the Fly series, and that is, as long as we all lift each other up, then we will all rise together. I'm Doc Skinner. Good night.
Oh, and then before you go, tell
Yeah.
everybody again where they can find you. I put your links, and your links will be in the description, but I got your TikTok and YouTube, but go ahead and tell them again where to find you.
Yeah, 1028 Productions on YouTube is main place where you'll find all of the shows and the interviews. My 12, 15-hour marathon shows during the riots where I got pulled into it too deep and had to leave that for a little while. But yeah, I've run the gamut. I try to cover as much as I could. I just, at this point in my life, I'm focusing on the story, and I feel I've done my tours of duty, and leave it up to the young bucks as yourself. And
I don't think we're that far apart in age. I really don't.
I'm over 50, so everybody's younger than me.
If you round up my age, I'm right there. So like,
Yeah.
I no more rounding down. Yeah, that's for sure.
I just, it's the young ones fights now, and now it's about leaving something behind. So hopefully it's something that will educate, inspire, encourage people to just be better.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. And, on behalf of SNX Radio, like, we want, your Nani and people don't know that you had a passing in the family. Like, I just wanted to say I'm really sorry about that. Thank you for being here today, because I'm sure this was really not easy for you. So
it was a nice distraction. She was 102. She held it through Christmas. So she wasn't cheated out. She was actually just put in this book. I don't know who you would use. Young Heroes Who Changed the Korean. She was in the Korean War, and they did over 20 pages about her in this book.
Wow,
and
that's amazing.
And so that's a good thing. I mean, I really wish now that I've been learning about Tartaria that I had, said, "Hey, Grandma, what were the 20s like?" And I, missed opportunity, but she's got a lot of people that have been waiting for her. So
yeah, she seemed like a real spitfire by the picture that you had posted. I'm like, I love that. You see where she got me and where you got it from. So, you carry that piece of her along. So thank you again. I really appreciate it. And hopefully,
I do appreciate it.
Yes. And then we'll be talking to you soon. And I got to call Jim Goodall after this.
Absolutely. Yeah. I said hi.
I will.
I got to go down and harass him here soon. I think when I do this California trip, I'm going to,
swing by Arizona.
And it's so funny. When the Cousins brothers and I went to go see him at his place, we were supposed to get him and go meet with John D'Souza.
Yeah.
Have dinner, him and his wife Bella, at their house. And we get in the car. Cousins brothers are up front. Me and Jim are in the back. We pull up. We were pulling out of the driveway. We literally go 6 houses down.
Oh my God!
John's right there. So yeah, it's a small world.
He's so funny. Yeah, I bet you it was that jar he carried, that big jar he's got going on. Has something to do with it.
Yeah, it's the Lord's herb. The Lord's herb, yes.
Yeah, the Lord's lettuce, as they call it. Oh my God, he has no shame. He's so funny. But yes, thanks again, and enjoy your week. I hope you had a happy holidays, and by all means, like sending our great sympathy and condolences to you and your family. So
thank you. I needed some endorphins, so thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And seriously, I've enjoyed tonight so immensely, and I hope that we can definitely do a part 2.
Anytime. Yeah.
Awesome. Right. Thank you again. Yes. Wow. So that was amazing. I've always followed the work of Doc Skinner, and I have sat and I'm like, man, he's brilliant. But I had no idea all of the connections and the dots, and it really. I mean, we need these breaths of fresh air. We need like new and, innovative. I mean, when is the last great thinker that we had? And especially in this field, we definitely do. So big thank you to everybody in chat. It was absolutely wonderful to see everybody. We will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And as always, thank you for taking the journey into the unknown with SNX Radio. I'm Coley, and I will be signing off. But you guys, happy holidays. If I missed you before, Merry Christmas. And let's hope this new year brings us something new, and not something new that we'll want to take back. Like it really is, you know, and love one another. Love one another. That's all I got for tonight. So again, thank you for taking the journey